Hello, adventurers of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 33rd episode of our Feat series. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most popular feats in the series. Today we're going to be taking a look at Magic Initiate. This is found in the Player's Handbook, and it is the go-to for everyone who just needs a little bit of spellcasting in their life, but doesn't ordinarily have access to it. Also perfect for those characters who want that one spell from a list they just don't have access to, but really need it to tie their character together. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the description. First and foremost, I'd like to point out that there are no prerequisites for that, so that's really nice. The spell description the feat description, reads as followed. Choose a class: bard, cleric, druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. You learn 2 cantrips of your choice from that class's spell list. In addition, choose one first level spell from that same list. You learn that spell and can cast it at its lowest level. Once you cast it, you must finish a long rest before you can cast it again using this feat. Your spellcasting ability for these spells depends on the class you choose. Charisma for bard, sorcerer, or warlock, wisdom for druid or cleric, or intelligence for wizard. Really cool stuff there. Honestly, a decent amount to unpack. That being said, let's take a quick look at the walkthrough section here. So, step 1 is choose a class, bard, cleric, druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard, which is not too surprising. You're gonna want to think of 2 things when you're choosing a class list, though. First and foremost, what spell you want, and what cantrips you want for that matter, and secondly, what your highest ability score is. Reason you're going to want to consider that, at least between charisma, wisdom, and intelligence, is it directly determines which spells will be stronger with which. Super cool. From there, you're just going to take a look at their cantrips list and select the 2 you'd like. Afterwards, you get to go through their first level list and pick one there. You can only cast it once at its lowest level per long rest, so make it count. And then, naturally, as I kind of mentioned previously, your spellcasting's ability modifier varies based on the classes. Charisma influences the bard, sorcerer, or warlock, wisdom is aimed at the cleric or druid, and intelligence is perfect for the wizard. With that out of the way, let me give you my thoughts on it. So, in terms of who really wants this, I want to say I think the Battle Master could gain a lot from this. Same with some of the barbarians as well, depending on how they're played. But essentially fighters and barbarians for sure. Reason being, quite a few of them don't. Actually, I'd include rogues in there as well for the same reason. A lot of them don't get to cast spells at all. So Magic Initiate is a great way to give them a couple tricks up their sleeve to really crank out their best and put their best foot forward. In terms of what are the best cantrips or first level spells, naturally it feeds directly to playstyle. For cantrips, however, I'd probably go with Shape Water for sure. I love the versatility of it. I have it on all of my spellcasting characters I can, and I have never regretted it. There's so much you can do. It's kind of the most broken spell I've come across thus far. And then something that can damage, something like Green Flame Blade if you prefer melee combat, or Booming Blade if you prefer melee combat as well. If you like to keep things at a distance, Toll of the Dead is probably your best choice. It gets the better damage die, so you're going to want to have one utility-based cantrip, one damage-based cantrip. That would be my personal preference. And in terms of the first level spell, depends on playstyle as well. In my characters, when I take Magic Initiate, I usually aim for something that can either be ritual casted or something that can be, or that is a concentration spell. So good choices would be things like Find Familiar is a very popular one and is honestly super useful in so many ways, especially since that Familiar can take the help action. So if you're a rogue, Find Familiar is probably the one you're going to want to go with. If you are a fighter or a barbarian, it's a little bit tough to say. I think both Bane and Bless are really solid choices if you want to change the ebb and flow of battle and give your party members a little bit help or hamper the enemy a little bit. Those are really solid choices. As well as any of the locating related spells, like Find Magic or Find like Disease, Poison. I forget what they're called off the top of my head, but I've done videos on them in the past. So those are pretty solid ones as well. Honestly, there's a lot of really great choices. The first level spells cover almost everything, really. It kind of depends on what your playstyle is, as I keep saying, but honestly, read the list or watch the videos and then make your own judgment. The first level spells are a little bit harder to peg down. That being said, if you have any ideas for which spells work better than others, or if you have any build ideas, please let me know down in the comments. I love reading them, and I know everyone else tuning in does as well as if you have any cool stories involving the Magic Initiate feat. That being said, guys, have a great day, and as always, happy adventuring.